I can't put my seat back any further because my car is filled to the brim with camera equipment. Otherwise, I would do that to show that this is the more relaxed and chill part of videos. Oh boy, what an amazing day. This really was just top notch. Just kind of taking it in, knowing that it's a really good feeling to have set out to accomplish something and actually have completed it. It's really nice. It's super gratifying. Should have brought my other hat today. I just grabbed the one that was on top. I mentioned it in the other video, but I'll talk about it here because this is a separate thing that people may watch differently. Our future plans, I talked about last week, being like we got down budgets and looked at savings and really knuckled down. We might be able to buy a house, and that's on pause for the time being until we can figure out a full situation. All I can say is that my significant other's job has changed, will be changing, and we might be moving because of that. We'll see. If not this year, maybe next year. But at some point, we will wind up moving. It depends on how things play out. It's too early to tell, and it's really too early to go into specifics either. But as of right now, as of recording this on March 19th, the news just happened this week, and so at some point in the future we will be moving, which is not what the plan was before. The plan was to kind of settle down into one location, buy a house. Instead, we'll be looking into other options, which is fine. We'll just go with the flow. Besides that, it's a pretty good week. Work went fine. Nothing super of note, I don't think so. I got some stuff done. I've been plugging away every day, like I talked about last time, with doing my contract work in the mornings and on the weekends, which is what I kind of have to get back to this weekend. This is Saturday, so I still have Sunday, Monday. I kind of would like to get out tomorrow as well to come back here and watch more of this. Did I skip over one earlier? I've just realized that in my entire... Here, we'll just have to cut this in, I suppose. Pretend that this happened earlier. One more thing. I can't quote it word for word because I don't have it in front of me because I'm recording on the camera. There was also another one that I somehow, between looking up and down at my phone, missed one. But one of the other ones said, don't leave before the birds do. You have to stay there the whole time, which is why I wasn't sure how long this would take. But thankfully, it was only a couple hours. They were totally, all of them gone by about 9 a.m., 8:45, somewhere in there. Okay, so anyway. I just had to record a little clip to put back into the main video because I realized I skipped over one of the rules entirely for where I came today. The question today is pulled from my list of questions that I downloaded that I have been working on now. The question was, what are you looking forward to in the future? Are you excited, unenthused, regretting, or not regretting, fearful? I've forgotten what the word is. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm super happy. I mean, that just may be partly today, but, well, no, that's not true. Just generally, I look forward to where this is going. What I'm doing on a regular basis now, kind of finding a purpose there and throwing myself into it and just trying to get better at it. I'm super thrilled about it. It is really exciting. Like, a few years ago, I wouldn't have been doing any of this. Even last year, I was just thinking about doing it and I didn't make it out. And now today, I got up, I did what I needed to do to get out here on time. I got everything set up and I got some fantastic footage, I think. I hope. So yeah, I'm super excited about it. I mean, things generally, if I kind of look at how everything goes, this is, I'll be honest, thinking about it now, I picked this question without even realizing, but Last week's question that I just kind of asked myself was how happy am I right now, and this is kind of how happy am I with where things are going to be, and it's almost the same answer. But yeah, thinking about where I was a year ago, even just in a year, I've grown so much in so many areas. I'm doing things that I wasn't doing a year ago. I'm experiencing new stuff, like across the board. It's really kind of exciting for myself to see and go, where will I be next year? Where will I be in 5 years or 10 years? How far will I have come? What will I have seen? I've seen things that I never would have thought. If you told me 10 years ago, hey, you'll be out there sitting in your car with a door open, freezing solid, but getting fantastic footage of the Sage Grouse, I would have gone, I don't think you have the right person, and I don't know what a Sage Grouse is. And now look. So that's super exciting to see. Even just a few years ago, I would not have dreamed of this specifically, but this was amazing. I definitely want to come back and keep seeing this kind of thing because it's just a fantastic experience to be able to experience. Yeah. Whatever the future holds, I think I'm ready for it. In so many ways, I've got, I don't fear the financial side of things anymore because I have plans on how to pay down debt and how to survive. And like, even if, when the scare might have happened of, oh, how do you support, which I can't do at the moment, but I could crunch it. If things really had to happen, if I had to sell equipment or something like that, I could do it to support both myself and my significant other if the path had gone down that way, which hopefully it will not. But I wouldn't have been able to do that a few years ago. It's just not a thing that could happen. And unfortunately, the way the world is going and inflation going up, it might get back to that point very soon. My income doesn't raise as quickly as the inflation rate does, but we'll see. At this point in time, I at least have a plan for right now. In the long-term future, I'm kind of sunk, just to be real. I don't have retirement plans. I have plans to get me through the next few years. I have plans that if I can continue to do that and, one way or the other, just on the path that I'm on, I should be okay until then. Retirement is a whole other question. That being able to support for an entire lifetime is going to be tough because I just don't make enough money to contribute to that at this moment. I hopefully will get to that point once I can pay down all the camera debt and not pick up more stuff, which is what I want to do. I can start doing something like that, but we'll see. With luck, if I really can make it happen, if I'm dreaming as big as possible, I will turn this that I'm doing right now into an actual financial means to support myself for the future. That would be just the wildest dream that I could come up with, would be to be able to go out and do this full time and not have the other responsibilities of other work. Or at the very least, if we pivot that slightly, being able to do work that's related to this, like the contract work that I'm doing currently. It's never been my plan because I don't want to try to mix that. I'm fine having, if I have to do one to support the other, I'm fine doing something that's not directly related to the field so I don't burn myself out on it. But, yeah, regardless of how I look at it, everything lines up as a positive. Wherever I wind up going, whatever I wind up seeing, wherever I wind up living, there will be wildlife, even if I have to travel to get to it. And I'm only getting better at what I'm doing, I feel. I mean, that's from a year ago to now, since I really got the big camera. Maybe a year and a half almost. Not quite. Maybe a year and 4 months. I'm going out, I'm doing better, I'm getting more, and I think I'm repeating myself now. Anyway, the point is the future looks good. I'm happy. That was the question that I picked. I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to see where everything goes, just in my own personal life, in the wildlife that I'm doing, that I'm going out and seeing. Everything there that I could have under my control looks great. And I'm really excited to see where I go from here. Because I still feel like I've only just gotten started, which is crazy to think about from 2 years ago, where the best I could do was just going out with the camera. I might have bought a big lens by then, and that really kind of made the transition from this is a fun thing to this is something I'm taking seriously, and I really want to make something of this. And the side of that, regardless of making anything or creating anything, I'm saving all of these memories, because my memory is terrible. I think humans in general, that's kind of how it goes. There's only so much we can store and process and be able to recall at a moment's time. There are things that I'm sure I've forgotten in the short term, and things in the long term. They'll come to me as they go, but it's not perfect. It never will be. And that's one of the things why I'm recording this and why I'm not just going out, because it would be easier. Let's be very clear. It'd be much easier if I just went out, captured the footage, and went home and then told people later and was like, yeah, I remember something about that. But being here in the moment, what I'm feeling, what I'm experiencing, what I'm going through, creating these memories in a way that I hope lasts with digital storage is just super interesting to me at the very least. If no one else finds it interesting, so be it. That's completely fair. It's my life, and I want to live it, and I want to share it. And if anybody finds it interesting, by all means. But if not, I have this to look back on 50 years from now when I can't go outside. It'd be tough, I think, at 80 years old to get around like I'm doing now. And I think that's kind of what spurred me to do everything. Eating better, to try to live longer. Exercising regularly, to try to get stronger for this and to prolong life. Like, everything I'm kind of doing revolves around being able to do this for as long as possible. Like, even if you look at it from another perspective of people who do this as a career and probably got started 10 years ago when when you get out of high school, quote unquote, although I was homeschooled, so it didn't really, but the age range of then you go to college and learn the skills and then you start working in the field and doing that. They've got 10 years on me, more or less, getting to that point, which is why I'm not competitive. I do what I'm doing, and I will do this for as long as I possibly can until I can't do it anymore. Hopefully, I never stop being able to do it. It just might have to change. That I can see, and that's kind of why I'm diving more into the big, heavy equipment and the camera gear and the video side of it now, because later on, let's be real, if I can't carry this stuff, if I can't hike a mile with all of this camera stuff or more, or be able to do everything, that will limit what I'll be able to do, and I'll have to transition into doing more photography at that point, or whatever the world has come up with at that point. There might be something else entirely instead of just photos and videos. We may have come up with holograms somehow. We'll see. The world changes quickly. And so does technology, and it'll be interesting to see how that changes as well. But anyway, yeah, to answer that question, that was the excited about the future, absolutely. It's kind of what's going on in the personal life. There's definitely some changes on the way, and we'll see. I'm really just setting those goals in December, I think, is when I recorded that video where I looked up wildlife and I picked out 5 birds, and that just 2 of them back to back. The horned lark last week, which I do want to go get better pictures and I want to get video of, but just being able to see it was all the goal was. And I saw it, and it was great. That already was a great thing. And then we move into this week, and it's like, here's the one that I thought might be the hardest, would be the sage grouse. And seeing them at the lek, just even though this location was known, I didn't know for sure that it was going to happen, and I'm concerned. And boom, did it. 1 time down. I'd like to come back at least 1, maybe 2 more times at the very least. I don't know if I can make it out every single weekend through April. Because boy, I recorded a lot today, and here's my main concern. Unfortunately, what I was thinking about was the mix of this is amazing, this is fantastic. What am I going to do with this footage? Not only in a way of how am I going to edit it, because I'm not great at editing, and I'm still trying to improve on that and make it into something. Like I can just display it as it is, but where am I physically going to store it? Because I was already pushing all of my hard drives to the max, and now I just recorded a couple terabytes worth. Where am I going to put that stuff? So I'm going to have to do some rearranging, and I'm probably going to have to delete some stuff. I already culled through of just about everything. I may have some that I can do and cull through, but on my actual backup, it's pretty well full. And like every week it gets more and more as I back up all the contract work that I'm doing, because I got to have those photos saved. So yeah, that's tight. That's real tight. And I don't, just buying another hard drive, I don't have the money. And I'm trying not to put myself further into debt, but like, where does that go? So I think I'm going to have to dump some of my early stuff. That one thing that I never really wanted to do, where I was just talking about making memories and everything, is getting rid of them. I don't want to do that. I'd rather save everything that I can, because you never know when YouTube goes down, or they just delete my stuff. They've decided that it's inappropriate, or it goes against terms of service or whatever, and it's gone. And I don't have a backup of that. At the very least, I try my best to keep everything that I've edited, because I take the raw files, I edit everything, and then I export that, and I save that export. Those exports will never get deleted as far as within my control. I have those backed up. I need to make sure they're backed up in 2 different locations at the very least, and then they're online. But I liked having all that. I liked saving all that raw footage so that I could always go back if I ever need to. If I learn how to edit better, or, color grade better, or anything like that, I could always go back and go, oh, I still have my raw footage. I can take this that I did and make it look, with the standard of what I'm doing with the rest of the stuff. And I can put that all together in reels and things. Can't do that if I have to delete my footage, which is not what I want to do. But a new hard drive would be like $400, which I don't have. And a place to put it, I really need to. Eventually, I have a small server. I plan to do a video on all of this at one point, and I just never got around to it, unfortunately. But I currently have hard drives in my computer that I edit from that are fast, and for long-term storage that I put things onto, and that's one of my backups. And then I have a whole separate unit, which is a server backup, where I put everything onto there, and that's what's about full, along with the drives that are in the computer. So even if I bought another one, I don't have any physical space to put it into the backup, the server, and I would just be cramming more drives into an already full computer, which it's not great either. And again, the money, which is why it's like, at some point, I know I will be building an entire, basically a computer, but my own server instead of buying a pre-built one, which is what I've done. And then I put the drives into there and I back everything up there over the network. I will build one which will function almost as a computer, but it will be an entire server just for backing up. And I want to do that, and I want to be able to expand it with lots and lots of hard drives to hold everything throughout the years. And then I've got everything backed up there, and at least that's better than nothing. Again, it would be ideal to back everything up in multiple locations, but the only way I can do that is to have multiple locations, which I can't really do. So anyway, that is the challenge that I face. I will have to figure out what I'm going to do with all the footage when I get home to try to clip that together. I'm thinking I could, at the very least, because my thought is if I come back multiple times, it would be better to just wait until I have all my footage from all the outings, and then clip it all together so that I can show everything from multiple angles, so that I can document as much footage as I can from different, behavior that they did. Like there was some fighting going on at some point, I think. I don't know if any actual breeding took place. But yeah, being able to get as much of that as I can. So I may just clip together something quick just to be like, look what I did. Look how cool this is. Because I really want to share, like, multiple people already. I'm like, I want to itch. I've got the itch to like immediately start messaging and start saying, hey, guess what I did? Because that was something specifically I talked with my brother last year about everything. It was just a general, hey, how's it going? It's been, not quite a year since you moved. 6 months or 8 months since you moved, what's going on, and explaining, being like, here's all this stuff. And then I learned that Sage Grouse are out here and I want to go see them doing this, and I hope I can get out there, because by the time I was discovering it, it was towards the end of April. So I may have missed it entirely, honestly. I don't know how long they really stay out there doing that. Anyway, so yeah, I'd love to message him and be like, look what I did, but it would be better to show, look what I did, instead of just saying, guess what I did, right? So I might clip together something like that. We'll see how the rest of the weekend plays out. At this point, I am debating about whether I get home. I will have to get home, unpack everything. I have to unload the car entirely. I don't know if that goes in the wildlife or the personal video, but I lost a screw in the bottom of my car back there. Well, check this out. So I'm starting to break down things and put everything away. I take the handle off the top of the camera, which attaches via screws here. And these screws are not super big. About like that, right? I only have one here. You want to know where the other one is? It dropped and bounced behind the latch here into this little hole. It's down in there and I can't get it out. Thankfully I have more at home, but I really don't want to do that. I have grabby tools that I could put into there at home, and I've got magnetic screwdrivers and things that I might be able to get them down in there, but again, at home. And by the time I drive home, I don't know if it'll still be in that spot. It'll probably have rolled around somewhere else, and I can't seem to remove that piece of plastic, so I got it. I was able to pull the plastic up enough where the screw fell down, but it fell down under the spare tire, and the spare tire is mounted down in there, of course, and all my stuff's on top of it. So I have to get home, unload the entire thing, then take the spare tire out so I can get that last screw out, so I don't have a screw rattling around in my car forever. So I have to do that. I have to get everything unpacked, and then I have to charge everything because I blew through a good bit of battery life on everything today. So that's a full charging, getting everything ready. I may do Monday. I may, if it turns out the way that I'm thinking right now, I have to check to see what the weather is like. If I make it out again this weekend, it will be, I'll go home and try to get everything done. I have to get all the footage off. I have to figure out where to put all the footage from there so I can use different drives when I come back out, because I don't have that many to bring with me to the point where I could keep them stored. And yeah, I could maybe do that, and I might do that, is shoot on a different drive on the main camera, because at least I have multiple hard drives for that. But anyway, point is, go home, unload, get everything done. I have to get all the batteries in charging, ready to go, and then packed up by the end of the night to go back out tomorrow and get all the drives done and move all the footage. And I don't know if I can get all that done in one day, to be honest with you. Everything is there, and I'm already tired, and I had to wake up at 4 a.m. So I think if I make it out again, depending on the weather, what will happen is I will go home, I will get everything done that I can today, get all that stuff done on there. Then tomorrow I'll stay home, but I will get all of my contract work done, because I got to do that this weekend. I got to get all my food cooked and everything, and I do really want to play Elden Ring, because that game has just completely absorbed my entire life, and it's amazing, and I don't know how far into it I really am, but like, oh, so I really want to play that some more, and on the weekend is a good time to play, because then I can play with my buddies who are also playing, because we all work for a living, like most people do. Anyway, point is, if I can get all that stuff done, then I have tomorrow to also relax, kind of rest up, get everything ready, take my time, get everything packed up, and then get back out and do this again on Monday, if I can make it out again this weekend. If not, the next weekend, or the next weekend, or the next weekend, or the next weekend, and then I don't know how many that is. I just started saying randomly, but basically through April, I hope to make it out 2 more times at a minimum, maybe more. At the very least, 1 more, right? And then go to the spot that I want to record here in a second for the wildlife video, which is across the reservoir, across the water over there. I want to get over to that side. I'm going to record a little thing there on my way out before I head home, and that will be that. What a great day. Oh man. I'm still just so excited because I got to see sage grouse. I got to see sage grouse, and the first time seeing sage grouse, I saw them doing like one of the most interesting things that they do, that not other birds do. Not everything has a mating ritual where they go out into the, find a clear area, and I think they clear it themselves. I have to remember what I researched. But they find a clearing, they go out there so that they can strut their stuff, and they throw their chest up, and it's just like fascinating. Oh, it's so cool. And I got to see that. I got to experience that and live through that. That was amazing. Oh, it's time to go home. I'm starting to get hungry again. I had my peanut butter sandwich, and now I'm starting to get hungry for more. So I'm going to have to defrost my entire window because it has completely fogged up while I've been talking. So I will get that going there. I will let it defrost, and then I will, as I start to drive out, I will get a little shot of where I think I can go next time. I'll check that out a little bit. Might stop the car, get out and walk around, make sure that the car can park there safely like it did here. And then I will head home and start working on all of the footage, transferring it over. Oh, and I hope to record, if I'm going to do that, my plan now will be to record an episode, a chapter of the audiobook, because I'm still going to finish that project, I swear. Even though it will get tougher to do as I have picked up doing contract work on the weekends, a video game that I really like and is taking my attention, and this wildlife will become more abundant as the weather gets warmer. I still want to finish that project, finish that book. I think I'm more than halfway through it. Bird. What was it? What is it? It's a small one. And it's gone. Unless that's it, right? Nope. There? No. 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 I swear you landed in some sage. Where'd you go? Anyway, yes. Even though things are starting to get busier and my time will get short, and then if we wind up moving, if we move, it will be towards the end of summer. So at the very least, it will be, it'll give me some time to get some more things done, depending on how that goes. I also still want to make it out to Yellowstone at least once. That may be walking around, not so much with the cameras and everything, but we'll see. Anyway, time to go home, time to get everything done. Thanks for joining me for all of this. I hope it was enjoyable. I hope it was interesting, at the very least. Or, if nothing else, you got to see me the most excited I've been in like a year, 2 years, more years. Whew, boy, I am like bouncing with excitement. Okay, time to go.